Okay, we're going to look at recording macros, and a macro is quite simply a set of instructions that you would use on a regular basis, and it'll just basically bounce through all of those instructions for you, so you don't have to keep repeating them again and again. And I'll give you an example. Let's say we have a spreadsheet like this, and we want basically this lot printed, and we'd like just that bit, not the bottom bit, printed, and we'd like it printed in landscape, and we'd like grid lines on. Well, you can imagine there's quite a few steps involved in setting that up, so it'd be a real pain to have to keep repeating those steps. In fact, let me just show you the steps that are required to do this. What you do is you highlight the block of cells like this, and then you'd go to the Office button at the top left, you'd hit print, and in the print dialog box, which is here, you'd click selection. Then you'd so it's only going to print the selection that we've got up here. It's not going to print the stuff at the bottom. We'd hit preview. You can see the selection's still not quite right because it's missing Thursday and Friday and then an old grid lines. So you go onto page setup, you change that to landscape, you click onto sheet, and you'd hit grid lines, hit OK. And eventually it's ready to print. Now you can imagine if you're going to do those various steps every time you want to print this, that'd be really painful. So what you can do is you can record a number of these steps to a macro and either run the macro or assign it to a button, and it'll do it all for you automatically. Before we can actually record these macros, however, all the macros are hidden in a tab called Developer tab, and Developer normally sits up here. In fact, on Excel I think it sits normally between View and Load Test, I can't remember where, but it normally sits up here, and it's not switched on by default, so you've actually got to go into Office and switch this on, and it actually doesn't matter which Office application you use to switch it on, it'll switch it on for all of them. So if I show you, go to Excel options, and then you're going to click show developer toolbar there. Well, if I just cancel that will work for all Office documents. If I call it Word here, and if I go into the Office button and into Word options here, and if I click show developer tab in toolbar, if I hit OK, it will appear in Word and in Excel as well. So OK, there we are. You can see developers appeared here in Word and the developer tab has appeared in Excel. So whichever Office application you're in, if you switch on developer, you've then got it across all of your Office apps. So that's what I need you to do now, is go switch on developer, and in the next clip we're going to show you actually how to record a macro.